Peace, peace. What up, humans? Welcome to Ease with Empress. Today we're doing a full moon reading, our full moon spread that we do every month. And today is a Virgo full moon. So we're just gonna take a moment to get set up in the space, set the intention, and get right into it. Oh, my good old coconut water. Now, what happened to that lighter? Could you please hand me the lighter? It's right there on the counter. And while we're waiting on the lighter, we're just gonna set the intention for the candle that's being lit. May this candle burn with the intention of love and light, and for us to find balance and clarity in the message that we are receiving. So today we are lighting the candle Black Excellence. It says a mindset infused with knowledge, wrapped in confidence, backed by action, and immersed in gold. And it actually, when it burns, it has like little gold shimmers in it. So it's super cute. That's one of my favorite parts. And as you can see, it's almost gone. I've been using this candle like crazy. I love it. And it kind of crackles. So if you hear that in the background, that's what's happening. All right. So I will that the sound is going well. I'm just going to move this candle out to the side a little bit. And as you guys can see, we got a new setup today. I'm so excited about it because normally I don't have like my whole table in my office set up, but today I was like, let's get it going. We have a lot of different items here on the table from our flash sale. So if you just happen to be watching and you see some items out, the corner of your eye and you like, ooh, like what's that? Feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm pretty sure we'll have it. And if not, we can make a custom. Excuse me. And just a little background, because I don't share enough about it. But Taurus Moon Metaphysical, as we see here on a lot of our videos, Taurus Moon Metaphysical is our umbrella company that houses all the things that we have to offer as a brand. We are a metaphysical self-care brand that offers jewelry, self-care, body butter, movement, and food, meal preps and plans. So there's lots of things to offer, but we're not going to get too much into that because we don't want to make this video too long. I just want to get straight into our reading and just dive into the flow. So if this is your first time visiting our or experiencing our full moon spread, we typically, we set the intention already, but we just go through a full moon spread that I've been using for a few years now. It's something that I use personally, and now I'm sharing it with you guys. So I'll be referring to my notes here on this phone every time we go through different portions. But overall, the reading is to support you in your full moon practice and help you to really take take the action and like move in an actionable way to get to the overall outcome, like your overall projected outcome. So you kind of get that guidance from your ancestors. As we are talking about this now, like you can set the intention for whatever clarity it is that you want to receive throughout this reading, because again, this is a collective reading. So for the goddesses that are tuning in, or maybe even the guys that are tuning in here, this reading is for us. This is for us to have our guidance and direction. And as you guys see from the title, today's video is about finding balance and finding balance within our tribe so that we can actually align with our tribe. And what that means to me is like, really tapping in with ourselves. Today we had our Moonment Collective session, our first session this rising. And it was really good because we talked about finding balance and how we can find balance within ourselves to really like benefit ourselves within our tribe. And so, sometimes like we as people in our community, we can be so like giving and really pouring into our community, but we don't actually like pour back into ourselves, or we don't allow ourselves to be poured back into, even though no matter how much we say we want to have reciprocated energy, we want to have this balance and give and take, but we don't actually allow for that to happen. So that was what the Movement Collective discussion was about. And I just really wanted to expand upon that, as this full moon in Virgo is really talking about how you can really get organized and like sort out and really like, that spring cleaning that we all talk about. We got to do some spring cleaning within our energy, keeping that that spiritual maintenance up to par. Okay. And do my eyes deceive me? It's 5 people in the room. Y'all better leave a comment in here. Who is in the room? Come on. Welcome to the space, y'all. I love to see it. I love to see it. Leave a emoji, leave a comment in the room. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm grateful to see that you guys are here today. So we're just gonna bring us in. Yes, clearing all energy, clearing the intention, and getting started. So for our first question, where are you in life right now? Where are you in life right now? This is an opportunity to check your scale, right? So we are evaluating our scale here. Like what energy are you in? Are you in a high vibration, low vibration? Are you in a space where you need to make some cleaning? Okay, we got 2 cards. Queen of Pentacles and Page of Swords. Okay. And I also, so whenever I do this reading, I like to just follow up with the oracle cards as I do the question, so I don't have to do the whole again, just to make it as efficient as possible. So where are you in your life right now? We got Queen of Pentacles and Page of Swords. And so we're also going to do our oracle card. The oracle deck that I'm using is the African Goddess Rising. This deck is one of my favorites. It is an oracle deck that I've used for some time as well, and I really enjoy it because, one, it resonates with me. I love the images, but I also love the messages that they have. Each card has a different affirmation that is, really conducive to the message that's coming out, and I love to use those affirmations to get me through the moon phases, because it helps me to, like, connect with, okay, this is a limiting belief that I am associating myself with, so I actually need to chant this to myself so that I can overcome this limiting belief, or this belief that I'm telling myself. So again, where are we in life right now? Where are you in your life right now? Creativity. Okay. So what I'm getting out of this is, okay, we got creativity, we have Queen of Pentacles, and we have Page of Swords. So it's giving this like childlike energy, like you are in a space where you have infinite possibilities before you, right? You have this opportunity, like, okay, let me break it down. The 7 sisters, creativity, and let me show y'all, because I know I'm not really holding on. But creativity with the 7 sisters, they are one person. This is how I see the 7 sisters, okay? The 7 sisters in the storyline has been broken down many generations in many different ways. But the way that I perceive the 7 sisters is one goddess, right? And then this one goddess has all of these skills and talents and gifts that every time she steps out the door, people are like, is that a different person? Or she got a sister? And, as creatives, as visionaries, we can be so creative and like expansive that we don't even realize how like our skills just kind of like roll off the tongue, and like things are just like popping off left and right? So we can manifest things so easily. We can bring things to fruition just from our thought. And that's exactly what the Queen of Pentacles and Page of Swords is talking about. He's like, look, you got this mindset of a child, like anything is possible, nothing can stop you, and you just go for it, right? And because of that, Queen of Pentacles, like, you are literally able to bring anything into fruition. Like you are just popping things out left and right. Like, just talk about fertility. And that word, let me clarify, because a lot of people, they hear fertility and they instantly think pregnancy. Like, no, you don't. Fertility does not just equal pregnancy. Like, pregnancy is something that happens in so many different ways as a metaphor in life, right? So we have this rebirth. We have these new things that are forming and growing within us, where our ideas and our visions come to life. So our desires are being manifested, right? So that is where you are right now. And that is a really exciting place to be. I'm so excited. I feel like the previous full moon reading and this one, the energy was just high. So I'm really excited to see where we go from here. So our next question is, how do you project yourself to the world? What is the truth of your relationships in your life? And this is so spot on right now, because like we said at the beginning, we are finding balance and doing a spring cleaning within our relationships in our life right now, getting organized and sorting how our relationships are impacting our lives, and how they are impacting our behaviors, our beliefs, and how we show up in the world. And then also, how we can maybe be the initiator in some change and some shifts within our relationship. So how do you project yourself to the world? How do you project yourself to the world around you? That's a really good question. Are you wearing masks? Are you pretending? Like, are you putting yourself out there to be something that you aren't necessarily? Or are you putting yourself out there to be, that could be good or bad. You could be putting yourself out there like, oh, I'm not that good, I don't know, I'm not that creative. But really you out here just holding gold, just saucy, just ooh. I gotta ring the bell on that one. Okay, how are you projecting yourself to the world? You may be projecting yourself very grounded, very like put together, like she got it together. Okay. um so the Ace of Pentacles is the card that came out, and the Ace of Pentacles is like the master. Like, this person is very much grounded in their physical reality, right? So like, we already talking about it, and we probably gonna be talking about it quite often here, but they're very grounded. We got Virgo, we got Capricorn, we got Taurus. They're very like locked in on what they want. They could be stubborn. They could be like just very clear on what they want and just like, making it happen. Okay. So we have the two cards, Liberation and Awakening. And so let me re-say the phrase or the question. How do you project yourself to the world? And what is the truth of your relationships in your life? And so instantly I'm like, okay, we have Awakening and Liberation, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. It's given that like your relationships, where you are right now, is like the relationships in your life are something that is keeping you anchored, something that is maybe encouraging you or maybe allowing you to feel more liberated. It's a beautiful space to be in when you have a relationship or connections with people that you are able to kind of have this yin yang, this balance, this ebb and flow, this the opposites that attract, but it's a balance. It's not so opposite that it's like friction and like, when you put the opposite of a magnet together, but it's like the right size of the magnet that attract each other, right? And so I feel that's like a space that you want to be in, where it allows you to be in this liberated state, where it allows you to come into your awakening, and maybe you're stepping into this awakening. And when I said that, I just heard like, you're stepping into this awakening, but you may feel some doubts. You may feel like like people, you might perceive that people see your weaknesses, and your weaknesses are really your strengths. The very essence of like what makes you, what people love about you, and sometimes like we can be so hard on ourselves about that, like, whew. As I say that, I'm recognizing how that has manifested in my life in the past. How, we could be very hard on ourselves or have such high expectations of ourselves to perform or, manifest things in a certain degree at a certain time rate or whatever. And so like we assume that because, our expectation was to meet here, and we actually made it here. You know what I'm saying? You're just slightly right there, but or even you over exceeded, but because you over exceeded and you thought that you were going to be here, like you didn't even recognize that you manifested what you said you were going to manifest and more. And sometimes we can like beat ourselves up about like, oh, like, dang, it was supposed to be like this, and like not allowing or having that grace for ourselves. And so you project yourself like grounded, but then you also have this shift in this evolution that's happening within yourself, where you're awakening. You are awakening to your truth. You're awakening to your true freedom and liberation that you have within your life experience, if that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna get into the next one because I know they're gonna keep unraveling, right? It says, what is blocking you from your desires and goals? Okay, that's funny because I feel like I started to get into that, and that happens a lot whenever we're talking into these readings. it's really a story, you know, like we're getting into a story, we're getting into, you know, your life's journey and really mapping out the plan. Like this is literally like a roadmap that is like your spiritual GPS, if you will, right? So as we move right along the road, we want to know what is blocking you from your desires and goals, okay? What habits, what beliefs, what thoughts, what practices, what relationships? Because oftentimes our relationships can be you know, very beneficial, but also they can hinder us, and we don't recognize how these relationships are hindering us, right? We may feel like, oh, this is my favorite person in the whole wide world, but we're not realizing that this favorite person in the whole wide world is actually feeding a part of you that needs to grow, right? Like we are so obsessed with this person because it's just like chocolate or candy. You know, too much of a good thing is not, it's not good. That statement, and I know I didn't say it exactly right, but y'all get where I'm getting at. That statement has come up a few times. Like too much of anything, it's like everything in moderation, right? Um, we have to pace ourselves. What? Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me process this one, because the question was, what is blocking you from your desires and goals? Okay, and then we have, and I need to make sure I reference this. Okay, so we have Mercury and Virgo with the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is so interesting. What is blocking you from your desires and goals? I know I just got real quiet. There's a lot. There's a lot being channeled in right now. Hmm. What is blocking you from your desires and goals? Hmm. Okay, so I just heard like it's got to be perfect. Okay, and we literally just got desire as for our oracle. Like it's got to be perfect. Like it's very like it's structural. It's like, oh, what time is it? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. They got another meeting going on. But yeah, it's structural. Like when I think of Virgo, I think of this very like precise being. My bonus son, he actually is a Virgo, and I always refer to this moment, um, or this experience that we had, and reference it to a Virgo, or like a way to describe Virgo practices. Not all Virgos and not the whole, you know, thing, but anyways, one time he was a little bit younger, and I told him to make his bed. Now y'all know fitted sheets. It don't matter how old you are. Like a fitted sheet is going to frustrate the hell out of anybody, right? Just trying to get it on there, trying to get it right. Um, and I think we helped him with the fitted sheet. And then the second part was like, just lay the blanket down, you know, put the pillows, you know, just make your bed. Because as a young boy, it's so important for them to build those practices at a younger age, because obviously nobody likes to do those types of things, or a lot of people don't. And so especially young boys, like just instilling that. But with him being a Virgo, he's very precise. And I learned this about him in this time, because the bed was made and it was good, but he was so frustrated because he was having to make the bed on the bed. Oh, mind you, we lived in an RV at this time. That was an important detail. Um, he has to make the bed on the bed, and so he makes it, but then because he's on the bed, it's a little bit wrinkled, like just slightly. And so when I came, I was like, wow, good job, like you did it. And he's just pissed, really. He's upset, and he's just like, but it's not right. Like I can't get it the corner straight. It won't go straight. And I'm just like, it's okay. Like it's fine. And he's like, but I'm trying to get it like this. And so I mentioned, I bring that story up because it's like, from my eyes, looking at this young boy, he was probably all of 5 or 6 years old. had his bed made, and he had did it in such a quick time. But he was so frustrated, and his frustration was ruffling up the covers even more, because he's just like, it's not working. And realizing how it was the perfection. Like, he wanted it absolutely perfect. He wanted it like perfect, you know what I'm saying? And it was not good enough for him. It was not to his standard. It wasn't right? And so it wasn't what he desired. And so that is something that it could be blocking you, right? Like, you did it. It's a job well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Like, you put the effort in, you made it happen, and you did your best. And that is all that you can ask of yourself, you know? Like, sometimes we can get so frustrated and angry and like so like stuck in like how we imagined it to be, and it's really exactly what it was supposed to be, right? Like, we are being guided in the right direction. We are exactly like how we need it to be. And that moment is a lesson that teaches us, like, maybe, okay, I see that this is um a challenge, or I actually want it to be this way. So from that lesson, learning how we can make adjustments in the future, like make some changes, so that we can feel better about the outcome of what we create. But having grace with yourself first off, and not being so hard on yourself about how it looks or even the process. Speaking of process, the message this week has been trust the process. I think I've had that written down in my journal probably 4 times in the last 3 days. Trust the process. As we walk on this journey, we are evolving every moment, every breath. We are evolving, we're growing, we are transforming into this being that we desire to be. And so, just because you aren't at the end goal, you haven't made it to the destination yet, we got to think about it like this GPS. We are on this route, we're driving, and sometimes there's a detour. Sometimes the red light is a little bit longer than we anticipated. Sometimes the ETA changes. It may go down, it may go up, but it doesn't mean that we aren't still going on the path, on our way to where we desire to be, right? So, having patience and grace with yourself, I think that is the overall message, okay? um that's a word from me and you, okay? I hope that touched you, because that was what we needed to hear. Whew. What do you need to do to overcome those obstacles? And as I said, as I was speaking, this card had hopped out, the Chariot. And so I'm gonna go ahead and place her out there, but I'm gonna shuffle again just in case there's another one for us out here. But we have the Chariot. Okay. That's so interesting, because I've never seen the Chariot with reins. But it's not, she ain't really got no reins. But anyways, yeah, what do you need to do? Okay, we have a lot of Pentacles today. There's a lot of earth energy. When I tell you this Virgo energy is like, we out you, like it is prominent, okay? So yeah, what do we need to do to overcome those obstacles? All right, so yeah, getting out of your head, getting beyond that. I love this so much. It's so sweet. This is beautiful. I'm going to pull this next card. I'm going to pull the next oracle for what do we need to do to get out of our... what do we need to do to overcome these obstacles, right? Okay. So we have the Chariot in reverse. We have 3 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the Wounded Healer, and we have Radical Rebirth. Okay. Let's break this down, because this is loaded, and someone needs to hear every little bit of what is being said. Okay. So with the Chariot in reverse, when we think of the Chariot, she's like, this is the being that is able to make those decisions and say, hey, this is what I want, this is where I need to go, take me hither. Okay. And they don't have to move or lift a finger. Like, it's just like sit back and you're like, this is the direction I want to go in, and the chariot starts to move, because you, as soon as you make your mind up and you agree and you align with that motion, and so it is, right? And so it is, and it's happening. And so then another thing you can do is consult your elders, consult your ancestors, consult um you know your peers, right? So we have the Three of Pentacles, and Three of Pentacles is talking about, there's the wise man, there's the student, and there is what's the word, there's a beginning, middle, and end. I'll put it like that. Okay. So you are, say, in the beginning stages, and you have you are a student, and we all are students, but we have an opportunity to learn. We have an opportunity to expand. And so, y'all, with this card, it's so loaded because a lot of times, like, we have this vision, right? We're visionaries, and we want to bring things into fruition. But what's stopping us is, we're like, oh well, I see it this way, like I want it to be like this and this. Again, very structural, very like perfectionist, very like it has to be a certain way. Again, locked in your ways, not taking it up for any other way, like it has to be this way. And so that's what's blocking you. And so what's being encouraged is like allowing for collective and community input, because maybe if you heard from other people how they see what it is that you're presenting, or how they receive, or what how they receive what you're projecting out, maybe you would realize that it's not as bad as it seems, right? And so that brings me into the Wounded Healer, which came reversed. So this is this is like a huge lesson. This is a big message. I feel that's like associated with the Chariot card, because that is a major arcana. Really tapping into the emotions. It's like maybe you experienced something in the past that was like it didn't quite work out, or we'll use the making the bed situation or storyline as a metaphor. Maybe you had a situation like that where you were really passionate about it happening the way that you wanted it to, and you really let it get you down. You really let it shift how you saw yourself. You really let it shift your emotions. And so um, the guides are really like encouraging you to connect with people that are in your field, connect with people that are in the space that you are in, or that you want to be in, to hear what they have to say about your vision and your desires and where you want to go. And the biggest thing is being open to the possibilities that can unfold out of what input they give you. Because we can be so fixed and locked in on how we see it to happen, but it don't matter if it's only in our head. Like if we only see this vision in our head and it's so crystal clear and it's so perfect and it's da 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 da, but then like it's not actually in the physical, it's not manifested, it hasn't come into the pinnacle side of things. It's only in air, it's only in the thought, in the imagination. Like we have to bring things to fruition. And so a lot of times it's a lot better, it is a lot better to bring things into reality with partners and collaborate and maybe with input of other people, and tweak the idea just a little bit, allow some flexibility, like allow yourself to be more malleable to what it is that you desire, to see that you're still on the right track. This is just a minor detour. This is just a little tweak. Like the road's a little bit different now, but it's okay. Like you're still on your way, right? So this allows for you to have your radical rebirth. Really allow yourself to come out anew and birth these visions and these ideas. Earlier we talked about pregnancy. Allow yourself to carry this vision, carry this idea, and let it formulate, let it cook. You know what I'm saying? And then come into this rebirth and see that it can be so much more magical than you even imagined, right? So that is the word for what you can do to overcome those obstacles, and what you need to do. Yeah, what you need to do to overcome those obstacles. Okay. That was loaded. Okay. I'm excited to come back and listen to this because This is everything. This is everything we need to hear. Okay, so we're getting into the next one. The next card is talking about what can you do within yourself in order to help achieve those goals. Okay. What can you do within yourself to achieve those goals? What do we need to do? What can we do within ourselves? What does that look like? Okay, Hierophant. Change. Sorry, I got loud again. Change. 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 5 is all about change. Okay. Just wanted to check, just double check, make sure. We got Taurus, very grounded. Again, we talking about Earth all the way, all the way. Let me do another shuffle. What do you need to do within yourself in order to achieve those desires? Yes. Those are literally like synonymous to each other. They are literally the same. We got Resistance and the Hierophant. Okay, I really want to look at this at the book and see what the Hierophant is talking about, because this is a major lesson, a major life lesson. So I'm just gonna get into this. Okay, so it says card 5, the Hierophant, is a card in which crisis is experienced for the first time. After the stability of 4, 5 makes our reality waver and places us before spirituality, or at least before our search for a deeper meaning in things. The Hierophant or Pontiff creates a bridge between the sky and the earth, between what is habitual, real, manifest, and what lies high in the skies, the rarefied and the mystical. He teaches us that in difficult moments, we must appeal to our more spiritual side. Through this, we can overcome those moments. It seems strange to associate Taurus, a sign connected to the pleasures of life, with such a spiritual card. But Taurus knows about ephemeral, and therefore, yeah, that's what it says. Ephemeral, and therefore fully lives in the present moment, enjoying and satisfying the senses. Taurus has high values that are manifested in reality. Aries is the divine spark, and Taurus is the true birth. Did we not just talk about rebirth? Okay. The manifestation of that which is human on earth, which holds the flame of the divine within. Okay. Keywords: faith, search for spirituality, the right distance, the message that comes from the spiritual world. So allow yourself to really connect to the divine, connect to the earth. Because, honey, and then we talk about resistance. Resistance is 22. 22 is like partnership. Like, it's quite literally like I'm partnering with the divine, and you are like in this moment making an agreement with the divine, because we can have resistance and be so like fixed and stuck on, this is how I need it to be done, this is how I want it to go. And at the end of the day, it's all about like control. Like, we are just locked in on this idea of control. Like, I got control of this, I know how this is going to happen, I know if I take this route and I go this way, I'm gonna get there in 30 minutes, period, no point. And then when you go the route that you thought you was gonna go, and then they like, oh, we're doing construction on this road because you've been driving this road for a long time, since you was like 3 years old, you remember this road, and it actually needs to be repaired. It needs some fixing up. So we have to fix this and close this off for a while. So actually venture off this way. And once you go that way and you remove that resistance, because you could go on that route and you'd be like, I'm so mad. Like, why they take me on this way? It takes me a different route, but it actually is like 3 minutes shorter. The route is it gets you there, it gets you there faster. It's a smooth ride, and there's actually things that are beneficial to you along the route, but you never saw it because you always went the other way. And so this expands your mind. If you allow and you're in the space of allowance for things to flow and just unfold, you see the synchronicities, you see how the divine is communicating with you and partnering with you in your experience. And so if you see it less of why me or a challenge or that God or the divine is testing you, and you see it more as an opportunity or a redirection to align you with where you are supposed to be, okay, you shift your mindset and you allow for things to unfold, you can see the beauty in transition and transformation and change. Okay, so back to this one, Hierophant, we have to allow for change, allow for some things to get moved around and shifted, because then sometimes we're like, I didn't even know I was still holding on to this. Let me take this out. And let me take this out too, because I don't need none of that. But until some things kind of get shooken up, you don't realize like what things have been sitting dormant in your space and in your aura until, somebody came and shook the globe. So there is that. All right, we have two more. Thank y'all for bearing with me. I thought that I was going to be doing this a lot faster, but this message really needed to be broken down the way that it is. So thank you for flowing with me in this journey. All right. So card 6. What can you learn from the outside world, others others to help you manifest your goals and desires? Let me read that one more time. What can you learn from the outside world or from others to help you manifest your goals and desires? Okay. What can you learn? What can you learn? What can you learn from the outside world and others? What can you learn? What practices, what beliefs, what mindset can we learn from others? What, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this works for me. Like I do this all the time. Okay, I'm gonna try that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give that a try. What can we learn from my friends out there? Okay. She's funny. She's hilarious to me. I love her. All right. What can we learn from others? I just seen a shadow walk by and that card fell. The moon. Oh my gosh. The moon, Pisces. This is so beautiful. I love it. I got so excited about that because obviously this is a full moon reading, but even more so because like I feel like the moon is just so sweet and gentle and also a force as well. And when we talk about the moon, it could be, excuse me, there's so many dimensions of the moon that are unknown. And so it's like, what better teacher than to learn from the moon, than to learn in the symbol or the sign associated with the moon for this card is Pisces. So, Pisces is very much in the imaginative space, very whimsical and free and, connected to the divine. Again, allowing or bridging the gap from the heavens to the earth, connecting the two and you know like being in your magic, being in your true essence. We got level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. Okay, we got level up. Okay, so I just noticed this. The throne that she has is actually floating. So it's like, girl, tap into your magic, tap into your imagination, And just like I said about the moon is a force. And this woman is here. She's very elegant and regal, but then she got her machete in her hand, like, cross me if you want to, you won't. Don't even think about it, okay? Like, you would never think about crossing this goddess, because it's like, honey, you don't want no smoke. You don't want no trouble. You don't want that, all right? So, um, two things that I see out of this. Some things that you can learn from others is, one, to allow yourself to be more imaginative, expand your vision, expand your imagination. Two, um, standing up for yourself, like grounding yourself in your truth and not allowing things or people to run all over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to have a free flowing, okay, I see, but speak your truth and stand your ground, right? That is so important, okay? Because we quick little message, we imagine these things, we see ourselves doing things, but then you see you see opportunity, and if you don't ever speak up, if you don't ever allow yourself to, put yourself out there, you will never arrive to your goals and your desires. You have to make those big decisions, which is something that I've been practicing for myself, allowing myself and challenging myself to make those big decisions, because sometimes those are the pivotal moments, whether we say yes or no to those big choices, if we will arrive to our desire, when or how or what desire we imagine. Um, there is an event that happens in my city here, and I have done a lot in my practice, in my work. I'm a professional dancer, I'm a somatic practitioner, and I have a lot of studies and offerings under my belt. And so I offer a lot of things. And overall, I'm just a people person. Like, I am spreading positivity through every motion and movement that I offer in the world, right? Like, that's been my intention for the past, really, for my lifetime. But in the last like 6 years, I have been devoting my time to putting that into the world, into the ether. And so, when I first got started, like, wellness and movement was not really like popping, like, everybody wasn't really down to do, breath work and sit still and imagine and, connect to our body, or, explore movement in the way that they do today. Now people are like, wow, I've been looking for this. And I'm like, I've been looking for you, you know? Um, but I was saying that, there is a huge excuse me, spiritual community in my city, and I've traveled and gone places and would come back. And in the past year, there was an experience, and my partner actually performed, and I um I was really excited for this event. It was really cool. My partner was specifically invited to perform his lyrics, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing!" He's putting himself out there, and it was so awesome. And so here we are a year later, and it's time for it to happen again. And so there was an offer for us to be put on a flyer together, but I just felt like it wasn't a great representation of me and how the pictures were together. It wasn't like us in our performance essence. It was two separate pictures, and I kind of felt like a sidekick. I was just like, it's not really a representation at all of who I am and what I do. And so I just opted to not be on the flyer. Like, no, thank you. It's just not who I am. And so one, that was me speaking up. But then afterwards, I was like, there's all of these people and everyone's a part of this, but no one asked me to show up and share my gifts. No one asked me to put my craft into the mix of this beautiful experience that's being curated. And so I spoke up and I said something, and I think no matter what the outcome is, I'm grateful and I'm proud of myself for leveling up to say something and utilize my imagination, because I could imagine how I could offer what I do into the space, like, a lot of people know my name, but they don't know me. They don't know what I have to offer, because if they did, they would have called me, right? They would have said, "Hey, we need you here." But I understand that there's a lack of understanding and there's a lack of knowledge of who I am. And so I got to put myself out there. I got to speak up. I got to say something, because otherwise me sitting there and feeling some type of way and thinking and imagining what I could do, and arriving there and feeling left out or feeling like people misunderstand me, I have to set the tone. You have to teach people how you want to be treated, how you want to show up in the space, and where and how you will show up in the space, right? So, with that being said, boom, bap, bow. We offer these things, like literally. I do readings as well. Like there's so many things that I have to offer to the community, and it's like, I mean, pick one. That's all I'm saying. Just pick one, because I don't want to just show up like the girl that's booed up. Like, girl, no, that's not. I am a strong, independent woman, and I have a divine partner as well. Like, let's get it. Let's get it true, okay? So, anyways, I say all that to say we have to be the person that steps up to level up. We have to utilize our imagination and actually take steps towards our what our imagination is imagining, right? Because otherwise it's just in our head, and it's like, what good is that? Again, what good is that? So I digress. We're gonna move on to the final card. The final card is the projected outcome. The projected outcome, y'all. This is the moment of truth. Okay, drum roll, please. I really have a lot of fun doing these readings, and it's so fun to me just pulling cards and shuffling and connecting to the divine, because the more I do it, the more I connect to my inner child, the more I just have so much fun. The devil, Lord. Oh, I know everybody hates this card. They hate it. Everybody be like, oh, Lord, the devil. Mm, what I got to do to fix it? What I got to do? Ain't nothing wrong, bro. Ain't nothing wrong. There's literally nothing wrong. It's actually a good thing, okay? The devil is just a depiction and an image that people have created. It's an image that people have created in their own minds, and then told the story so many times that they got your ass scared. They got you scared. Scared what? Them. They the devil. The devil is really an essence of an imagination. The devil is the essence of imagining something, creating a monster within your mind and believing it so hard that it scares you to the core, and then you scare everybody else around you. That is the devil. That's the essence of the devil. And this devil came reversed, which to me is like, girl, you ain't got nothing to worry about, okay? The projected outcome is that the shackles will be released, okay? I know it's hard to see from where you are, but with the devil card, when it's sitting upright, I think I might be a little too close to this candle because it's great from a distance, but it's right here in my face, and I'm like suffering. Okay, let me choose my words carefully. I'm not suffering, but I'm being affected. Okay, just gonna move her over here. But yeah, so when the devil is sitting upright, they are shackled to this monster, right? They're shackled to this monster, and but the shackles are like so loose, like it's like say these are my handcuffs. It's like this, and they're like, oh my gosh, like let me put these both on my wrist, like, oh my gosh, I'm locked in, I can't get out. But they're so loose that, like, if they just did that, like, you're free. It was only an illusion. It was only an illusion. It was a perception of your mind. It was what you lied and told yourself, right? It was a figment of your imagination, if you will. And so, because this card came reversed, it's like, girl, all you got to do is come out of that state. It's like when the child is like, there's a monster under my bed. They have laid in that bed for day and night, or night after night, and they lay there long enough, and they listen, and they're listening for another sound, and they're imagining how big the monster could be and what the monster could do to them, and then they're like, ah, help! They're terrified. They have formulated this story to themselves, and built this this energy up so much that it shakes them to their core. And so it's up to you to really go within, tap into all of these these stories that you've told yourself, and take out what does not belong. Take out what is not true. Remove this from your vessel. Take it out and remove that shit because it's not serving you. It's blocking you and it's holding you down. And that is your projected outcome. Like the shackles is coming off. Like they done turned you upside down and it's like clink, clink, clink. And all I hear is a chain just break every chain, break every chain. Listen, there was no need to break them because all I need to do was fall off. Okay. I'm just, and so then we have Medusa-Rage. You about to rage, I'm is it crash out or I don't know, but y'all know the TikTok or whatever. Yo, I'm so not into trends that I be saying the wrong things, but you know what I'm talking about. But the point or why I bring that up is because the rage, like the rage, even though it's some like silly dance or whatever, when they're talking about like, I don't know, for some reason I think it's crashing out. So yeah, when they talk about crashing out, like you have to go there, right? Like there's something that's gonna get you to that point that's gonna make you say, all right, look, like you put your deep voice on and you like, listen, I'm not here for it. I'm not dealing with this no more. I'm not playing these games. And it's gonna be a redirection. And whether that be with yourself, which it probably will be, you have to realize that it's you. You are your own challenge, right? It's nobody else. It's not the people around you, but it's you that has to address you to make the shifts and changes within your environment. And whether you feel like, oh, this person is the person that makes me feel like this, or these are the people when I spend time with them, they make me do this. Nobody's making you do anything. You are in sole control of your vessel. You are in command of your experience. So no one can make you do anything. So it's up to you to really have autonomy over your experience and really lock in on how you want to make these shifts and changes. Because once you make that decision, that is when you ultimately can align with one, your higher self, but two, you can align with your tribe. So with that being said, that is the message. Okay. I am so thankful for this spread, for this reading. This was full. Okay. This was a full message. This was a full reading. Like you got a whole reading. Okay. You got a whole platter. Okay. Speaking of platter, have y'all ever had Ethiopian food? Because this is my favorite. Okay. And if anybody ever wants to go out and get Ethiopian food, call me if you need someone to eat with. Call me, satisfaction guarantee. All right, I am rolling off 2 hours of sleep. It is definitely, I was about to say past my bedtime, but it's quite literally midday. So I just need to go take a nap. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed this. I hope you did as well. And if you had some profound experiences, messages, or things that stuck out to you throughout the message, let me know in the comments. I would love to have a discussion with you guys. This space and this platform is really a space for us to build community and connection. And so, like I said, this is a collective reading. So let's collect in the comments and let's talk about it. Okay. Much love to y'all. Thank you. And I will see y'all soon. Peace. Okay, I gotta get up and turn the camera off. All right, peace for real this time.